Okay, everybody, hey, listen, hey, thank you for coming here. You know what I mean? After looking at the thumbnail, I don't blame you. I'm gonna show you guys just how easy it is to make a Cajun garlic chicken pasta. Guess what, folks? We're gonna do it in the skillet. Let's get it. Okay, so as you guys can see, it's not a whole lot of ingredients, but there are a few. But don't trip, the full ingredient list is on my website, smokinandgrillingwithab.com, and that's WITAB.com. Okay, folks, so look, this is where we're gonna start at, right? It starts with me having boiling water right here, and look, I'm gonna use bowtie pasta. You guys can use penne. You use whatever you want to on this right here, it doesn't make a difference. But the real level up is, take a look right here. We got just regular water, right? I'll tell you guys, if you boil in regular water, that works. We've been doing it for years, but I like to get myself a heaping tablespoon, add this to my water, drop that in, and then what I'm gonna do now is just stir it around so I don't have no lumps. Now we just leveled up the flavor on our pasta. You see that right there, folks? I'm telling you, look, out of all the videos I've been seeing out there, like a lot of people don't tell you all of the tricks and the tips and all of that, but I'm gonna give it to you. You know why? Because I want everybody to make good food. And I want you guys to stop by and check me out. Now, we got that in there. It's always a good idea to, boom, just add a couple of, pinches. I do hefty pinches in there, you know what I mean? Because we want to bump up the flavor. And if you guys didn't know, salt is an enhancement. You know what I mean? We're not going to talk about the other properties that salt do, that are beneficial. You know what I mean? But right now, it's just to enhance the flavor, right? So now, we're gonna read our box. And if our box tells us whatever we need, whatever that number is to get to al dente, that's what we do. Now for me, I'm just gonna drop this in here, right? Always when you drop it in there, obviously that wasn't as hot as my boiling water, so it brings the temp down. I still got everything on high, but right now I'm gonna start my timer as according to what the instructions say on my box, right? So it'll be al dente. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do now. All right, we already got our pasta on the stove, that's boiling, right? So now we're gonna cut our chicken down into bite-sized pieces, right? I'm not gonna, how can I explain this? I could have took a, saran wrap, put it over the top, and beat my chicken down a little bit to get it flatter, especially on these like bigger pieces, right? Like that, right? But what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna cut these down. And this time, folks, I'm gonna cut things down a little bit smaller. So when I say bite-sized pieces, that's what I mean. So this is what I'm talking about, but I want them all look about the same size. Now, once you put that heat on there, they start drawing up, and all of that, right? So, but don't worry, these are gonna get nice, and these will be a nice size. Just in the past, I have always, and I will say in the past, that's because I like to have a bigger piece. You know what I mean? So like, I like chicken, I enjoy it, you know what I mean? So I like to see if I can have like bigger pieces like this. But now I'm gonna cut these down and we're gonna go ahead and do it the right way. Now, if anything falls off, like these little small pieces, these will be done and they'll be tough and dried out. So, but when they like this size, that, and even that, that's perfect. Okay, so after we, pour out our boiling water, what I didn't record was to show you guys that, listen, we gotta save pasta water. So that's what this is right here. This is key. Now I'm gonna set this over here to the side. I took almost about 2 cups out of there. You don't need that much. About a cup is all you need. But I'm gonna show you guys, in this video what to do. Now, we have our chicken already cut into bite-sized pieces. Now we getting ready to get these seasoned all up. We finna get that pan ready. You know what I mean? And we finna work, folks. All right, so now we just add our seasoning to it. It might look like a lot, but you want it to be seasoned, right? And you want all of these little bite-sized pieces to taste, like super good. All right, so I'm gonna put these over here in my hot soapy water. Don't forget, folks, you wanna have that always at the ready, especially while you're getting, your food is cooking. That way you can you can wash your dishes, That right there is like key. I'll add a little bit more in here. I like to add the most of my seasoning, like especially when adding Creole kick. I like for it to be, done in, a little bit at a time. I can actually look at my chicken and see where I'm at, like even after tossing it. It'll take it all. I just don't like to have it all in there at once, right? Now I'm gonna hit this one more time with a little salt, and then, of course, I'm gonna use the pepper. I like the way pepper, when it hits the skillet, you get that heat, it gives you a little bit of a char, and it changes the flavor of it. So you guys gotta get used to using that pepper. When I was coming up, you know that I didn't like pepper? I used to tell everybody, oh, I don't want that, it's too hot. Now I can't cook without it. All right, so now we come with the pepper. And I usually grind for a minute. When you go to my website and you look at the recipe, I'll give you guys a measurement. But for me, I like to have a little bit of it. And when I say a little bit, listen to how I'm saying it. I like to have a lot of pepper. All right, so I got a little heat in my pan. I'm gonna go ahead and add me a little bit of this extra virgin olive oil. And this is infused olive oil, folks. So this right here is made by Branch and Vine. You guys can find them on the internet, branchandvineupland.com. They got garlic. Just go by and check them out. That's all I cook with, as you guys already know. So as this heats up, you know what I mean? I have my pan a little bit on the hot side. So actually, this is probably hot enough. I'm gonna go ahead and just add this to it. And here, all we wanna do is we just wanna brown. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn my fire off. This is completely done. You guys wanna use a meat thermometer just to check, but trust me, when they start looking like this right here, and they're still soft. I broke some of these, some of the bigger ones, you know, to get them all about the same size. And then I went ahead and washed my bowl. That way I don't have to have two dirty bowls. And then we just put this off to the side, just like this. Okay, so you should still have a lot of heat, especially if you're using cast iron, because it don't take long. I turned my fire off as I, transferred, my chicken into the bowl, right? So now I put it on like very, very low. I'm gonna add my butter to it right now. And this right here, we want this to melt. This is gonna help get some of this fined up right here. And that's gonna be, the base and the flavor for, for our sauce. Now, once your butter has melted, right? I'm gonna go ahead and start with mine. You guys gonna like this. This is the part I like because it always puts a smile on my face. Don't ask me why, folks, but it's like when I load up my garlic press. You know what I mean? I just think about all the times my grandmama had me mincing garlic. Now we're gonna go ahead and prep this cheese. As we have this on low, we simmer. It picks up everything off the bottom. Oh my goodness, look at that. Now, I'm gonna pull this back. I want you to take a look. If I go like this, you see how clean that is? When you have a well-seasoned, cast iron, I can just pull back and everything that you thought that was stuck on the bottom, you can look at that color and just see we on something different, right? So now I'm finna trade. We're gonna get rid of the square edge, right? Now we finna come with the spatula, right? Now we're gonna go ahead and add in our stock. Now I'm going to go ahead and shred. I have to say this because there's always somebody new watching these videos that just don't know, right? You must shred, and you don't have to, so maybe I can't use the word must, but you shred your own cheese. All right, folks, what I'm doing is now I'm taking that mozzarella, just putting it in my cup. Reason being, like I said in a couple other videos, I think I've been over making things overly cheesy. I know some of y'all like, hey, ain't no such thing, but if I'm gonna teach you right, and then you make those adjustments on your end, right? So I got a half a cup of cheddar, I got a full cup of mozzarella, and then I got a half a cup of Parmesan, right? I got a little left over, but that's up to me to use it. Now, if you guys come back over here, you can see that this is what you want to have. You just want to see it, the lightly simmer. You don't need a whole lot of heat, right? So that's it right there. That tells me it's hot. I can see the vapors, coming up off of it. So now we're getting ready to just start, adding a little bit at a time, right? So I'll just add something like this. Now we between medium and low. So we'll call this a medium low, right? I can see it ain't quite the way I want it yet, but it's working its way. Now, while this is starting to, simmer, let me go over here and get my bow tie. All right, so what I did was I turned off my fire, right? I don't want no more heat underneath the bottom of it because it'll start making your cheese, kind of like stick. See that right there? This is what you want. You want this consistency right here. So it's enough heat in there to keep everything nice and warm. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just start introducing some of my bow tie to it, right? Now don't forget, you guys use bow tie. You can use whatever type of pasta you would like, to it. But you'll see, look at this here. We'll just keep moving this around, right? Adding some more to it. Don't forget, we got to reintroduce that chicken. I'm gonna turn it back on in just 1 second, but right now we just want to make sure that it's nice and creamy and coated well. You see that right there? You see how it's pulling that cheese? Oh yeah. Okay, so this is what I want to show you. I got the majority, I probably got 90% of them bow ties in here, right? This is just a 12-inch cast iron skillet. But I want to see, I want to show you guys, as I turn this on there, you see how it kind of like gets thick? It already is sticking to the pasta. Look at that right there, that's cool. But you remember we reserved some pasta water, right? I'm gonna go ahead and add this to it just a little bit like that. Right, now we just gonna continue to roll this. Look how it becomes a little bit more creamy. You see it glistening? This is it right here. I don't want none of it to get out of here. Like I said, I got the majority of it in here. You know, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more. Now, when you save your pasta water, that's your starchy water. That, along with this cheese sauce, makes it thick. You know, makes it stick, right? So this is what you wanna have. Now, I cut myself up a little bit of parsley. You know, I just put it in here, and as I roll it over, it gives it some color. All right, folks, listen, I done did my thing. You guys can see right here, I done already shaved a little bit of, this is just, you know, some extra Parmesan on the top. You know what I mean? We finna eat. The reason I'm not finna dig out of this is because I'm finna take this and put it back so everybody can get them some. So I'm just gonna go in here and get some just one time, y'all. I feel like I'm over talking. I can't wait to try it. I ain't gonna fake. I done already tasted it. You know, it's chef's choice. It's already fire. Cheers. Whew. I felt like I had this all over my face. I know I had a spoonful, but you know what I mean? But it's so cheesy and rich. You guys got to try this and then come back and talk to me down in the comment section below. I know you guys would do some things with this, you know what I mean? But I gave you the base. This is fire as it is. And guess what, folks? It's real kid friendly. Now, down at the bottom, I want you to tell me what else would you add to this? But we're going to take off the mushrooms because, you know, we all know you can add mushrooms to this. Anyway, I want to read it and maybe possibly make it. Now, if you're new to my channel, let me take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and walk off so we can close this video, and I'm coming right back, get me a bowl, sit down with my Kool-Aid, and I'm out. Peace.